Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of License to Chill podcast. My name is Neki Nazodi, and I am your host for this show. Today, we're diving back into a topic that affects so many of us, and that is body image, and how using affirmations can help us reshape not only how we think about ourselves, but also how we feel about our bodies. So stick around because we're going to uncover the neuroscience behind affirmations, how they can influence your self perception, and practical ways to incorporate them into your daily routine. All right, so let's review the basics, starting with body image. As we said in the previous episode, body image is a mental picture we have about ourselves and the emotional attitude we have towards our bodies. Whether it's the shape of your body, how you feel about your skin, your weight, or other aspects, body image is a huge part of self esteem. And it is something a lot of people struggle with. Thanks to societal standards, media portrayal of the ideal body, and the rise of social media filters. And while it's completely natural to have days where you feel less than confident, for some people, negative body image can deeply affect their mental health and everyday life. So, where do affirmations come in? As we said in the previous episode, affirmations are positive statements that can help challenge and overcome self sabotaging and negative thoughts. When you repeat them often and believe in them, you can start to make positive changes. A lot of people think affirmations are just wishful thinking or fake it till you make it. But there is an actual science that backs up how affirmations can change the way your brain works. You see, your brain is an amazing organ and it has something called neuroplasticity. Now, neuroplasticity refers to the brain's ability to recognize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. It means that your brain can change and adapt based on the thoughts and behaviors you engage in regularly. When you repeat a positive affirmation, you're literally rewiring your brain to think differently. Self affirmations activate the brain's reward centers, especially the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, which is associated with self processing and positive valuation. And when it's activated, it can help reduce feelings of stress and defensiveness when faced with negative information about yourself, for example, negative thoughts about your body. Now, enough with medical abbreviations. Let me explain this in a simple language. Have you ever noticed how the way you talk about yourself affects how you feel about yourself? So, for example, if you constantly criticize yourself, saying, I hate my hair, I hate my thighs, I hate my nose, I hate my height, I hate my belly fat, I hate this, I hate that, or constantly comparing yourself to someone else and saying that you wished you looked like someone else, your brain starts to believe those things. And that's called negative self talk. And it is a dangerous loop because when you think negatively about yourself, you feel worse. the more you feel worse, the more negative thoughts you generate. And it's a never ending cycle. But the good news is you can break this cycle using positive affirmations. So instead of letting those automatic negative thoughts run the show, we can actively choose new thoughts. You might start with something simple like, I am grateful for my body because it allows me to move, or I am worthy of love, regardless of my appearance. And by consistently practicing positive affirmations like these, you start to reshape your internal narrative. And slowly, you shift from a place of body shame to body acceptance, or even body love. Now, there are many studies that prove affirmations are not just a feel good practice, and that they actually influence the way our brains process information and make us more resilient and more positive. One study published in the journal Social, Cognitive, and Affective Neuroscience showed that self affirmations actually increase activity in the brain's reward system. And participants who practiced self affirmations had increased activity in the ventral striatum and ventral medial prefrontal cortex, which both are areas involved in motivation, reward, and positive self valuation. Another interesting study from psychological science found that practicing self affirmation can protect you against the damaging effects of stress. It helps you stay more resilient, meaning that even when you're faced with changing situation and challenging events like negative feedback about your appearance, you're less likely to be emotionally affected by it. So, now that we talked about what affirmations are and how they affect the brain, let's get into the practical part and talk about how can you actually use these affirmations to improve your body image. The thing is, I know it feels odd at the start. So, in order to adapt yourself, you can start small because your body at first is not used to it, especially if you're a person who self criticizes a lot. And I used to be that person. I used to stand in front of the mirror for hours comparing myself to social norms, ideals, and especially from a cultural background that I come from. In Iran, every 18-year-old goes through a nose job, or at least it was the case in my time. So when I hit 18, I started spending hours in front of the mirror comparing my big nose, or at that time thinking it was big nose, to everyone's perfect post surgery nose. So I understand how it is coming from a background that you're self criticizing. And I also understand how you can change that narrative and become a really, really confident, self loving person. So, my advice to you, start small. Begin with one or two affirmations that you can actually commit to repeating daily. For example, my body deserves love and respect. Or, I appreciate everything my body does for me. These are one of the few affirmations. There are plenty of affirmations all over the internet. It's a very ongoing topic right now. So let me give you a few advice on how to use your affirmations. First thing, use present tense. Affirmations work best when they are framed in the present. So instead of saying, I will love my body, say, I love my body. Even if it feels strange at first because you're not used to it or you don't really believe it at that moment, remember, your brain is listening. And trust me, it will begin to believe what you're saying after practicing it over time. The second thing, be consistent. Just like going to the gym, and at first your body is weak, you don't have the muscle, right? You go and you start with a small 1 kilogram weight. And you may even be shaking when you're working out with that. But if you're consistent and if you're going to the gym every day, or at least most of the days of the week, after a while, you create that muscle and you are strong enough to lift more weights. And it's the same with your brain. Your brain is a muscle. So, just like going to the gym, affirmations also need to be practiced consistently. So, set aside a few minutes in the morning or even repeat your affirmations out loud during the day or write them down. Repetition is key to rewiring your brain. Thirdly, visualize, visualize, visualize. Because when you say your affirmations and you take a moment to visualize yourself embodying that positive belief, your brain will create that image and believe that actually that already happened. So picture yourself walking confidently, feeling comfortable in your own skin, loving yourself. Picture that perfect body of yours, but imagine yourself loving it and accepting every flaw that you have. Fourth, make it personal. Your affirmations should be meaningful to you. So, for example, if you struggle with comparing yourself to others, you can use an affirmation like, I am on my journey. I am on my own journey, even. And I honor my body exactly as it is. This could be a powerful affirmation. You can write it down and you can repeat it daily. So make it personal. Before we continue, I want to say a quick word on resistance. Some people struggle with affirmations because they feel fake at first or they feel cringed at first. And this is totally normal. If you spent years criticizing yourself, it can feel strange to suddenly start loving yourself and say something positive. But here's the thing, your brain doesn't always know the difference between a real experience and an imagined one. So, just like athletes visualize themselves winning a race to boost performance, you can actually trick your brain into believing that your affirmations they are real. So if even if they feel untrue at first, over time they will become natural. You just have to push through the times that you feel cringed. So just say it. Let yourself feel cringed. Doesn't matter. The more you say it, the more normal it will sound. And at some point, you will start believing it. So remember, it's about building a habit. You're creating new neural pathways, and that will take time and patience. Now, okay, back to where we left off. While affirmations are powerful, they work even better when you combine them with other self-care practices. Now, here are a few things that can help increase the effects of your affirmations. Number 1, journaling. After repeating your affirmations, spend a few minutes journaling about how it made you feel and reflect on any shifts in your mindset. You can have a journaling notebook. You can make your own journaling notebook. There are a lot of journaling document templates online, and you can use them, print them out, and make your own journaling document. Now, number 2, mindful movement. Whether it's yoga, dancing, or going for a walk, connect with your body in a way that feels good and affirm its strength and worth. So, whatever it is, you can choose your own medicine, but make sure that you do a mindful movement every day. Number 3, gratitude practice. So start or end your day by listing 3 things you're grateful for about your body. It reinforces positive thinking patterns. It could be 3, it could be 10, it could be 2. Of course, the more and the more detail you go to, it's better. So, for example, when you're talking about your body, don't just say, I'm grateful about my body. Of course, that's really good. But, for example, say, I'm grateful for my beautiful eyes. I'm grateful for my hands. I'm grateful for my heart that is working so hard every second to keep me alive. The more detail in expressing gratitude, the better. Number 4, mirror work. Try saying your affirmations while looking in the mirror. This can be very uncomfortable at first, but it's a very powerful way to reinforce self-love and self-acceptance. Another thing you can do with mirror self-talk, mirror work, is stand in front of the mirror naked. Look at yourself in the mirror naked and appreciate the beautiful artwork that is standing in front of the mirror. And pay attention to parts of your body that you used to think as flaws, but instead, at that moment, try to see the beauty and the uniqueness that they bring to you and your personality, how they shape who you are, and start loving them. Look at yourself in the mirror. Tell yourself how much you love yourself and how much you accept those flaws, and start loving them, realizing that those are the ones that brings you color, that makes you who you are. And it's unique and beautiful. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. Positive affirmations are not a quick fix. They are a long-term practice, but over time, with consistency, they can completely transform the way you view your body and yourself. When you start incorporating affirmations into your life, you are sending a message to your brain and to the world that you are worthy of love, respect, and acceptance exactly as you are. You don't need to change. So, if you're someone who struggles with body image or self worth, I encourage you to start using affirmations today. There are a lot of them on our Instagram, so if you're lost and you don't know what to start with, you can always check our Instagram videos and reels, and you can even send us messages about what exactly it is that you want to work on, and we can help you make the perfect affirmation for you. It may seem small at first, but it's a powerful step towards embracing your true self. Remember, you are more than just your physical appearance. You are a whole, beautiful, complex person, and you deserve to feel that way every single day. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with a friend who might need some encouragement. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And follow us on Instagram for more tips. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic, so leave a comment or send us a message about how affirmations have helped you, or if you're planning to start. Stay kind to yourself, keep affirming your worth, and I'll talk to you in the next episode.